Before fear learned to speak, before size decided power, before dominance was carved into nature's rules, there was the honey badger, not born from advantage, not shaped by safety, but forged where survival offers no mercy. What you are about to witness is not a story of strength alone. It is a story of refusal. Refusal to retreat, refusal to submit, refusal to break. Stay with this journey until the very end, because by the final moments, you will understand why even the deadliest predators hesitate, why venom fails, and why fear holds no authority here. Now, we begin with existence. The honey badger exists where the land does not forgive mistakes, scorching deserts where water is memory, open savannas where eyes watch from every direction, forest edges where darkness moves before sound. Here, survival is not learned gently, it is enforced. The honey badger lives alone, no herd to shield it, no pride to defend it, no warning call when danger approaches. Every night, it stands as its own defense. Every dawn, it wakes by its own merit. Its body tells the story of conflict, skin thick and loose, resistant to teeth, claws, and venomous strikes, loose enough to twist, to turn, to fight back. Even when death believes it already has a grip, claws dig into earth and flesh without hesitation. They break into burrows, tear into nests, unearth what others cannot reach. Jaws close with crushing intent. They do not test. They do not hesitate. What is caught is finished. Pain is felt, but pain is not obeyed. Where other animals retreat, the honey badger advances. It eats what others avoid. It hunts what others flee. Snakes venomous and coiled with warning. Scorpions armed with poison. Rodents hidden beneath hard ground. Carrion left behind by more cautious hunters. Nothing is beneath it. Nothing intimidates it. Existence here is not about comfort. It is not about dominance through size or numbers. It is about resistance. And the honey badger resists everything. Every scar etched into its body is a lesson survived. Every night endured is a trial passed. Every dawn reached is proof that defiance works. This is not recklessness. This is not madness. This is adaptation refined to its sharpest edge. Fear confronted so often it loses meaning. Danger met so directly it becomes familiar. This is existence, raw, relentless, and unapologetic. And from this foundation of refusal, from this life built without mercy or margin, the honey badger's journey unfolds. A journey that will challenge venom, mock predators, and rewrite the rules of who is allowed to survive. Because some creatures are not designed to dominate, they are designed to never give up. The honey badger does not migrate. It roams, night after night, mile after mile, driven not by seasons, but by hunger and instinct alone. It moves through darkness with purpose, nose low to the ground, ears tuned to the smallest sound. Every scent is a possibility, every vibration a promise of life or death. It digs where life hides. Burrows are torn open without hesitation. Claws break hard earth as if it were soft sand. Nothing buried is safe. It raids beehives without mercy. Wood splinters, honey spills. Bees swarm in fury. Stings do not stop it. Pain registers, but obedience never follows. The reward outweighs the cost. Venom does not end it. A snake coils. The strike is fast. Fangs connect. The honey badger collapses. The night holds its breath. Minutes pass. The body twitches. Then movement. It rises again. Venom slows the heart, dulls the senses, but it does not decide the outcome. The honey badger shakes, steadies, and continues. Cobras retreat. Hyenas hesitate. Even lions pause. Not because the honey badger is stronger, not because it is faster, but because it does not retreat. It charges danger head-on. It refuses submission. It makes every encounter costly. Predators understand this rule. Some fights are not worth winning. The journey leaves scars, skin torn, fur matted with blood and dust. But each wound sharpens the mind. Each encounter refines judgment. Each survival hardens resolve. Every night adds another chapter to a story written in struggle. Every dawn is proof not of victory, but of endurance. There is no celebration, no audience, no reward beyond breath and movement, only continuation. Because for the honey badger, survival is not an event, it is a decision, made again and again. in darkness, alone, and that is why the wild remembers it. The honey badger does not seek legacy, yet, without intention, it creates one. By hunting rodents, it keeps numbers in balance. Burrows emptied do not collapse into chaos. Fields remain alive. Disease does not spread unchecked. By digging into the earth, it reshapes the land itself. Soil is turned. Hidden life is exposed. Air and water find new paths underground. Other animals follow the trails it opens. Smaller creatures take shelter where it once dug. Predators learn the routes carved by its persistence. Even the land remembers its passage. Life grows where it once passed. Cubs are born into danger. There is no safety here, only proximity. From their first days, they watch closely. Every movement matters. They observe how to dig, how to listen, how to advance when others would retreat. There is no mercy in the lesson, no room for error, only repetition. Mistakes are costly. Success is survival. Generation after generation, the instinct remains unchanged. The tactics sharpen, the courage holds. Survive, adapt, continue. No songs mark their passage. No monuments remember their names. Their story is written in tracks erased by morning wind. Yet the continuum endures, quiet, unrecorded, unbroken. Because legacy is not always something left behind. Sometimes it is something carried forward, in behavior, in instinct, in refusal. And long after the honey badger moves on, the land still bears its influence. Balanced, altered, alive. Instinct governs everything. There is no committee, no hesitation, no internal debate. In the honey badger's world, survival does not wait for certainty. Fight is the default. Retreat is optional. Submission is unknown. These are not choices learned through comfort. They are laws written by a hostile land, where hesitation costs blood, and weakness invites erasure. Decisions are instant. There is no pause between danger and response. The body commits before doubt can form. Movement is decisive. Forward motion carries meaning. Every step declares intent. Fear exists, but it does not rule. It is acknowledged, measured, and ignored. This is not rage. This is not reckless fury or blind aggression. This is clarity. Clarity forged by repetition, by nights survived alone, by encounters where retreat would have meant death. The honey badger understands one rule above all others: never hesitate. Hesitation creates openings. Openings become wounds. Wounds become endings. So the honey badger closes distance instead of creating it. It advances instead of warning. It commits instead of calculating. This is not bravery in the heroic sense. There is no drama here, no triumph, no celebration, only necessity. Giants notice. Lions feel the charge before they understand it. Hyenas calculate and reconsider. Cobras strike once, then learn. Giants remember, not because the honey badger wins every fight, not because it dominates through size or strength, but because it refuses to behave like prey. It does not beg space, it takes it. Predators live by risk assessment. They weigh energy, injury, outcome. The honey badger disrupts the equation. It makes every encounter expensive, every victory uncertain, every confrontation dangerous. And that is enough. Scars accumulate. The body bears proof of past defiance. But scars are not failures here. They are confirmations. Each one says, this was survived. Consistency replaces reputation. Repetition replaces fear. Night after night, encounter after encounter, the response never changes. Advance, commit, endure. Because courage is not loud, it does not roar, it does not pasture, it does not announce itself. It shows up, again, and again, and again, in silence, in darkness, in isolation. That is why giants pause. That is why memory lingers. That is why fear loses authority. Instinct governs everything. And in a world ruled by hesitation, consistency becomes power. The honey badger will never rule the plains. It will never lead a kingdom. There will be no throne, no followers marching behind it, no land claimed in its name. But it bows to nothing. In a world ruled by size, by numbers, by dominance, it stands equal, not because it is the strongest, but because it refuses to surrender. The honey badger does not conquer. It endures. It does not seek glory. It survives without apology. Every scar on its body is a chapter. Every night survived is a victory unseen. Every sunrise is earned. While giants rely on strength, the honey badger relies on certainty. Certainty that retreat is optional. Certainty that fear is negotiable. Certainty that survival belongs to those who refuse to stop moving forward. This is not recklessness. This is clarity. The clarity to face danger head-on. The clarity to rise after venom takes hold. The clarity to keep walking alone in the quiet spaces of the world, where no cameras wait, where no witnesses remain. The honey badger continues, digging, hunting, enduring, shaping the land without recognition, balancing ecosystems without applause, teaching its young without mercy but with purpose. Its legacy is not written in dominance, but in persistence, and perhaps that is the lesson it leaves behind. That courage does not always roar, that strength does not always tower, that survival does not always belong to the biggest, but to the boldest, because fear has no owner. And as long as creatures like the honey badger walk this earth, the world remains untamed. If this story moved you, if it changed the way you see strength, survival, or courage, like this video, share it with others who respect the wild, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the unseen stories of nature's most extraordinary survivors, because every view helps keep these stories alive, and every story helps remind us why the world still matters. The honey badger does not ask to be remembered, but now you will never forget it.